Everyone HRS is caressed is up.
Your pleasure is mine, sweeting.
J'ai trouvé le cadavre de Firion. Elle a été assassinée.
Murdered! Ye gods, the poor thing! Oh, by the mother of cats, I pray she didn't suffer. They'll miss that face. Else, the regulars will miss her more. They swarmed her like honeybees at the hive. Oh. Losing Fionn slashed a big hole in my coin purse. I should get to replacing her.
Une femme est morte et tout ce qui vous intéresse, c'est l'argent?
Sweeting, this is Baldur's Gate. I've seen more murders than a butcher's right eye. There'll be time for tears. Cruel as it is, I must turn my mind to business, or, more precisely, the lack of it.
I presume you've found something interesting to discuss, if you're interrupting me again?
Le meurtre du père Lorgan fait partie d'une conspiration de bien plus grande envergure, fomentée par le culte de Baal.
A Baal plot? You as well? Devella's been harping on about Baal for months. Fancies herself something of an expert. I assumed it was just a bunch of conspiracy codswallop and fear-mongering. But she's been unusually insistent about this one, even for her. Fine, I'll bite. What's your theory?
Ce n'est pas une simple théorie, j'en ai la preuve. Ce document recèle des informations reliant les meurtres au retour du culte de Baal.
No need to wave documents at me. I'm already drowning in paperwork as it is. Constable Devella is going to be a real pain in the trunk about this. Since you seem to be on an obnoxiously similar wavelength, why don't you seek her out? She'll be at the Elf Song Tavern. Show her the list and I'll stay and inform the Fist here. Oh, and you'll need this pass. It'll give you access to the lower city. Well, what are you waiting for? You've a bloody conspiracy to solve. Move!
Finalement, l'éléphant se sera révélé utile. Avec le pass qu'elle m'a donné, je pourrais sûrement assister au couronnement de Gortache demain. Je pense qu'on peut retourner au campement pour aujourd'hui.
You wish to consult me?
Je me demandais, à quand remonte votre première rencontre avec le culte de l'absolu?
A true soul came to my city preaching a message of togetherness, accompanied by 2 novices. Menzoberranzan is not fertile ground for such messages. I killed them and hanged their bodies in my garden.
Vous décoriez donc votre maison avec des carcasses? C'est un choix esthétique intéressant.
I would have picked prettier corpses if my intentions had been aesthetic. This was a warning against heresy. I was not content with the warning, though. I intended to wage war on their insolent god and the rest of its followers, even as the flesh sagged and sloughed away from their eyeless skulls. Their audacity infuriated me. I had to know where they came from. And whoever sent them was counting on my curiosity overcoming my caution.
Vous les avez suivis jusqu'à Haute-Lune?
Yes. All it took was a simple act of necromancy, and the corpses told me where I needed to strike. Moonrise Towers.
Au vu des circonstances de notre première rencontre, j'oserais dire que vous avez échoué.
It is never safe to point out my shortcomings, Iblith. But in this instance, you are correct. Moonrise is the site of my greatest failure. As it turned out, to my shame, I was defeated without even drawing my weapon. I came to Moonrise with a retinue of warriors and assassins, the best House Bainray had to offer. I expected a battle, but found a fully laden feast table and a welcome befitting a house matron. Ketheric expected us, expected me, and I fell for his flattery.
Une telle complaisance est étonnante, venant de vous.
It is a mistake I hope never to repeat. Ketheric proposed an alliance between Moonrise and Menzoberranzan. I admit I was captivated by him. He invited me to the head of his table as his guest of honor. I was wary, of course. If I had been in his position, the food would have been poisoned. It was not the food I should have been wary of. It was the pale woman at the foot of the table, Orin the Red. We had barely begun to eat when she spoke for the first time. I only caught one word, my name. Then, quick as lightning, she climbed onto the table, a dagger in each hand, and skipped toward me, slicing the throats out of my men as she passed them.
Charmant.
Few things frighten me. Orin is one of them. Ketheric held me still, his hand on my shoulder, the grip tight enough to crack the bone. When Orin stood before me, she touched the dagger to my eye, drawing out a tear of blood. "I want this one," she said. Ketheric nodded his permission, and I was taken below. You've seen the horrors of the colony. Orin kept me there for days. She forced me to watch as my men were processed, some for food, others as thralls. And then she placed the tadpole in my eye herself.
Vous aurez votre vengeance, en temps voulu.
That is certain. You know the rest as well as I do. There were massacres before the Grove. Religious communities mostly. Those who refused to convert. Then there was you, and now there is freedom. Soon there will be vengeance.
J'aimerais en savoir plus sur Menzoberranzan. Parlez-moi de votre cité natale.
From the still, dark waters of Lake Donegarten to the black academies of Tierbresh, it is a city of wonders and terror. But it is not my home anymore. If I were to return, I would be denied all of its wonders and shown only the terror.
Pourquoi n'y êtes-vous plus la bienvenue?
For my people, to reject Lolth is to reject life. I am an apostate and would be executed. Though I am proud, I prefer exile to death.
Et à quoi ressemblait votre vie, quand vous habitiez encore là-bas?
I am a daughter of Menzoberranzan's most ancient and powerful house, the Bainray. I lived a life of privilege and danger. My home was at the tallest point of Cuel Arzol, the place of the nobles, a plateau high above the city's sprawl. I enjoyed every luxury, whether harvested in the Underdark or stolen from the surface, and I survived my first assassination attempt while I still suckled at my mother's breast. I tasted her blood that day. She covered my body with her own, and a blade bit deep into her chest, almost puncturing her heart. When I came of age, she tried to take my life herself, and I gave her fresh scars to match those she earned protecting me.
Est-elle encore en vie?
I expect so. If the world were to end, I think my mother would survive to rule over the ruins.
On peut dire que vous avez eu une enfance atroce.
How so? I could have been born a slave, a serf, or a jaluk. I had every advantage, and my mother showed me how to survive. She taught me to be resilient, and to guard my heart from those who cannot be trusted, literally and figuratively. When I choose to let somebody close, I do not do so lightly. That gives a great depth of meaning to the bonds I do share.
D'ailleurs, c'est la première fois que vous venez à la porte de Baldur?
Yes. I only know it through history books and hearsay. A city of murder and grief. It is already living up to the legend.
Et dire que depuis tout ce temps, je pensais que Will était le seul membre de notre groupe à être noble. Comme quoi, on en apprend tous les jours.
Why, hello, lover. That sounded more debonair in my head, I'll admit. Do you need something? Of course.
Puis-je avoir un baiser?
Just the one? I'm listening.
J'aimerais parler d'Orphéis.
What about him?
Pourquoi Vlakis n'a-t-elle pas tué Orphéis depuis tout ce temps?
The Emperor may be loathsome, but it's right. Orpheus can disrupt a gay hive mind. A talent like that makes the prince a powerful shield and a powerful weapon. Why destroy a weapon like that, when you can contain it in a relic and keep it for yourself?
Et pourquoi Vlakis veut-elle la mort d'Orphéis maintenant, s'il est si précieux vivant?
A weapon is only an asset for as long as it isn't pointed at you. The means of Vlakith's own end has been ripped away from her. Better to have Orpheus killed than to risk his escape. Better to risk the rise of Illithids than let the Prince of the Comet deny her the godhood she craves.
D'ailleurs, qui étaient ces Githyanki hostiles quand nous étions dans le prisme?
Orpheus's honor guard, loyal to the end. Trapped by Vlakith in the same prism holding their noble prince, fruitlessly hacking at the sphere that contains him. They see us as Geich, tadpoled husks in the Emperor's thrall. I regret their deaths, but I pledge to live as they perished, in the service of Gith's son.
Pourquoi l'appelle-t-on le prince de la comète?
The historical slates describe Orpheus as a fearsome, terrible creature, powerful beyond measure and enthralled by the Geich. So mad with power, he'd smash through the Githyanki Empire and deliver the shards to his Illithid masters. And glowing with such psionic force that he and his red dragon blazed a trail through the skies. A lethal comet careening towards my people. Lies, of course. Vlaakith spread a false image of Orpheus as monstrous betrayer, and her knights as the butchers who sliced him through. She was right to fear him, I'll grant her that. So great is the comet, it could shatter her reign.
La liberté du prince Orpheus a l'air de vraiment lui tenir à cœur. Peut-être que je devrais accepter le pacte que Raphaël m'a proposé. Enfin, j'ai encore du temps pour y réfléchir. Pour le moment, je devrais aller dormir. J'aurai besoin d'énergie. Demain aura lieu le couronnement de Gortash après tout.
Naughty, 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 little master. You have disobeyed your father's wishes one time too many. For he who fights with monsters should look to it that he himself becomes a monster. When you gaze long into the abyss also gazes into you. Another will embrace what you have rejected, and that other will be your death. But your father loves you dearly. You may re-inherit yourself yet. Slaughter your line. Become the last of your name. Lord Baal shall have but one chosen.
Memories flood back, snatches of your story written in the blood of 1,000 victims. Years spent in worship of Baal, leading his savage congregation in prayer, sacrifice, and slaughter. You were their master, and he was yours. A cruel master, a dread lord, a devoted father. All is as you feared. You are a spawn of Baal, his heir, his scion. And yet, you know you will never be free of your urge if you don't confront your past. You are not the last of your name. Not yet. There is another. The abomination wrapped in flesh you saw in the colony. Orin, it's time for a family reunion. But be wary of your confessors. Will friend turn to foe, knowing what you are? Tonight's troubled rest is, as ever, overwhelmed by your killing fate. You dangle above a dark precipice, one move away from falling. Another watches your body while it is possessed by the night. You do not dream alone.
Dark dreams? I think I can guess. Visions of blood on your hands. The blood in your veins, perhaps. For all the gifts Baal's children inherit, a peaceful night's sleep is not among them.
Comment pouvez-vous le savoir?
The dreams alone do not concern me. It is what waking deeds they might inspire. Are you truly your own master? What is it you feel when father's dreams come calling?
J'en suis malade. Je n'ai jamais voulu de ce pouvoir, et j'espère en être bientôt débarrassé.
There is one certain way. I hold it in my hand. This is your father's true legacy. Not his children, but the fear they plant in us. The savagery it blossoms into. In another time, with another of your kind, we found a better way. I would dearly like to find it again.
Dites-moi ce que je dois faire.
You would not be the first to turn the taint in your blood to your advantage. But there are barriers a Baalspawn must overcome first. Those of your kind. Orin. I am sure you already know that so long as she lives, she will never stop hunting you. It might be that you have to turn and face her. You cannot change that. All you can choose is how you meet her. As another bloodied child of Baal? Or as yourself? All I can offer is the promise that, should you choose to do so, you will not meet her alone. For now, take what rest you can. I will watch over you this night.
Merci pour tout.
Sleep well.
No more dreams await you in sleep this night. Only the warm knowledge that indeed you are not alone.
Well, are we ready for the road once more? If you have questions, ask. Just don't expect my answers to rhyme.
J'ai besoin d'en savoir plus sur les rejetons de balles, sur moi-même.
I am no expert on the matter, despite all my experience. But if anything I know can help you resist your father, only ask it.
Vous n'avez jamais connu un rejeton de balles ayant perdu la raison?
Not mad, no. Take Zadavok, for example. For as much carnage as he caused, there was always a cold calculation to it. He craved power, and his bloodline was just another path to achieve it. I saw that same bloodline turn to better ends than Baal ever intended for it. It was Baalspawn who threatened the coast, and Baalspawn who saved it. It is possible to go on to live a life outside your father's shadow.
Cette nuit, vous m'aviez parlé d'un autre rejeton de balles. Son existence a-t-elle été paisible, une fois Baal sorti de sa vie?
Baal was but the beginning. Be warned. A godspawn draws trouble like iron to lodestone. There will be crusaders who wish to rid the world of your taint, or jealous minds who believe themselves more deserving of the power in your blood. But happiness is not beyond a Baalspawn. It simply comes at a higher cost. Constant vigilance.
Est-ce que votre camarade vous parlait des rêves que Baal lui envoyait?
Yes. Your rancid father will try to twist your thoughts, as he did with all his children. The harder you resist, the darker your dreams become. Our camp was often roused by screams in the night back then. We learned to take them as a marker of pride. Even gods can be resisted.
Votre campement a-t-il reçu à plusieurs reprises la visite d'un majordome grotesque?
Baal had his minions, certainly, but none that watched over their wards so diligently. I wonder if past experience has taught the great god to fear that another of his children might turn against him.
Ce rejeton de Bâle a-t-il des enfants? Et si oui, ont-ils hérité de sa condition?
A Baal spawn can sire children, certainly. Whether they should... There are things in our nature we might unwittingly pass on, yes. But I do not believe them stronger than the things we choose to pass on. If you are asking whether love and joy are beyond you, just because of the taint in your blood, no. They most certainly are not.
The urges are calling on you again, aren't they? I haven't seen you sleep through the night once in the past days.
J'ai eu une vision. J'ai découvert que j'étais un rejeton de Bâle.
I knew you had some nasty habits, but I didn't want to pry over much, but bloody hells! A Baal spawn! Probably more Baldurian parents scare their children with stories of your kind than mine. I thought your kind was extinct. Goes to show. You should always check your facts. So, how are you feeling? Keen to reconnect with your family? Or ready to throw yourself in an oubliette?
À choisir, je préfère la fosse, sans la moindre hésitation.
You know, though I don't look a day over 100, I was alive in Baldur's Gate when the Baal spawn first arose. I was barely aware of it, locked in the kennels as a young spawn. Rather thrilling. I get to watch the bloodshed firsthand. I felt very unfashionable missing out last time.
Soldier?
J'ai appris que j'étais un rejeton de Bâle, un enfant du dieu du meurtre.
That's a heavy weight. I know you can carry it, but it's heavy all the same. You are so much more than your parents. You're more than the affliction that wants to consume you. You are my friend, and you get to choose your destiny. Choose well, all right? Please.
Hells. It explains so much. Listen to me. I knew another like you. Gorion's ward. One of Baldur's Gate's great heroes. Baal's blood ran through their veins too. They burned away their own darkness with their own inner light. They chose courage. They chose honor. And so can you.
I'm not surprised. You've become death incarnate. Mighty, yes. And altogether unpredictable and intractable. One day, perhaps soon, Baal will demand your fealty. You'll either muster the strength to defy him, or you will succumb. I know how I'd choose.
A Baal spawn? Gosh. I know what it is to have a closer connection than most with the gods. But with Baal, it's not a bond I'd like to be bound with. You should be careful. Very, very careful.
I suppose that makes you quite remarkable. Though not in a way I'd envy, perhaps. From what little I can recall hearing of Baal's mortal children, not all succumb to his influence. Perhaps you can still resist your nature, if you want to.
Je suis content de voir que mes compagnons de voyage, enfin je veux dire, que mes amis le prennent si bien. Mais aujourd'hui nous n'avons pas le temps de nous reposer. Le couronnement de Gortash va bientôt avoir lieu, et c'est aujourd'hui qu'on le tuera.